Good day everyone. So my name is Amira Badruddin Kasim. For today's video, I'm going to talk about the ethical theories, the rule-based theory, and the Magnificent Seven, the dignity of human life, and third, organizational justice, and lastly, the individual and organizational responsibilities. So the ethical theories. So the ethical theories provide part of the decision making foundation for decision making when ethics are in play, because these theories represents the viewpoints from which individuals seek guidance as they make decisions. So each theory, it emphasizes different points, a different decision-making style or a decision rule, such as predicting the outcome and following one's duties to others in order to reach what the individual considers an unethically correct decision. So in order to understand ethical decision-making, it is important for us, the students, to realize that not everyone makes decision in the same way. So using the same information, employing the same decision rules in order to further understand ethical theory, there must be some understanding of a common set of goals that decision makers seek to achieve in order to be successful. So there are these four broad categories of ethical theory, including the deontology, utilitarianism, rights, and virtues. So the deontology is the normative ethical theory that the morality of an action should be based on whether that action itself is right or wrong under a series of rules, rather than based on the consequences of the actions. So this means that a person will follow his or her obligation to another individual or society because upholding one's duty is what is considered ethically correct. For instance, the a deontologist will always keep his promises to a friend, and will follow the law. So a person who adheres to deontological theory will produce a very consistent decision, since they will be based on the individual set duties. So the next one is utilitarianism. Utilitarian ethical theories are based on one's ability to predict the consequences of an action. So to a utilitarian, the choice that yields the greatest benefit to the most people is the one that is ethically correct. So there are two types of utilitarianism: act utilitarianism and the rule utilitarianism. So the act utilitarianism subscribes precisely to the definition of utilitarianism. So a person performs the acts that benefits the most people, regardless of personal feelings or societal constraints such as laws. So rule utilitarianism naman is it takes into account the law and is concerned with fairness. And a rule utilitarianism seeks to benefit the most people, but through the fairest and most just means available. So therefore, added benefits of a rule utilitarianism are that it values justice and include beneficence at the same time. The third one is rights. So in ethical theories based on rights, the rights established by a society and protected and given the highest priority. So rights are considered to be ethically correct and valid since a large population endorses them. So the individuals may also bestow rights upon others if they have the ability and resources to do so. So for example, if a person may say that her friend may borrow her laptop for the afternoon, the friend who was given the ability to borrow the laptop now has a right to the laptop in the afternoon. So lastly is the virtues. So the virtue ethical theory judges a person by his or her character rather than by an action that may deviate from his or her normal behavior. So it takes the person's morals, reputations, and motivation into account when weighting an unusual and irregular behavior that is considered unethical. So for instance, if a person plagiarized a passage that was later detected by a peer, The peer who knows the person well will understand the person's character and will judge the friend accordingly. If the plagiarizer normally follows the rules and has good standing amongst his college, the peer who encounters the plagiarized passage may be able to judge his friend more leniently. So that's So let's proceed to the Magnificent Seven, the dignity of human life. So first one is the dignity of human life. So the lives of people are to be respected. So like for example, not intending or doing harm to others, like that. Number two is autonomy. So autonomy is all persons, including ourselves, are intrinsically valuable and have a right to self-determination. So example nito is acting in ways that demonstrate each person's worth, acting for one's own legitimate needs, like that. And the third one is honesty. So honesty is the truth should be told to those who have a right to know it. It is the truth should be told to those who have a right to know it. So example, speaking and acting in ways that reflect the way things are in reality, like that. And number four is loyalty. So loyalty, like promises, constructs, and commitments should be honored. So example nito yung gina-honor natin yung we are honoring confidentiality and keeping proprietary information secret, honoring written and oral contracts, doing what one says one will do, like that. So number five is the fairness. So fairness, people should be treated justly. So example is one right to life necessities and the duty to ensure them for others. The right of all to fair treatment under work construct, company policies, and the law. Duty to help those in deep need, those in danger, and those who are helpless, like that. And number six is the humanness. Humanness, it is our action should accomplish good, or it is our action should avoid evil. So action should be benefit to ourselves and others. Like for example, performing good acts, not evil ones, and acting and speaking to be of benefit to others, and acting and speaking in ways that benefit one's own valid self-interest. And lastly is the common good. So the common good is the action should accomplish the greatest good for the greatest number of people. So let's proceed to the organizational justice. So organizational justice refers to employee perceptions of fairness in the workplace. So this perception can be classified into two. There are two forms of organizational justice. It can be an outcome favorability and outcome justice. But before that, let me introduce the concept of organizational justice with regard to how an employee judges the behavior of organization and the employee's resulting attitude and behavior. Like, for example, if a firm makes redundant half of the workers, an employee may feel a sense of injustice with a resulting change in attitude and a drop in productivity. So justice or fairness refers to the idea that an action or decision is morally right, which may be defined according to ethics, religion, fairness, equality, or law. People are naturally attentive to the justice of events and situations in their everyday lives, so across a variety of contexts. So individuals react to actions and decisions made by organization every day. So an individual's perception of this decision as fair or unfair can influence the individual's subsequent attitude and behaviors. So fairness is often of a central interest to organizations. It is because the implication of perceptions of injustice can impact job attitude and behaviors at work. So justice in organization can include issues related to perceptions of fair pay, equal opportunities for promotion, and a personal selection procedures. So, let's proceed to two forms of organizational justice. So, the outcome favorability is a judgment based on personal worth, and while the outcome justice is based on moral propriety, managers often believe that employees think of justice as justice the desired outcome. So, lastly, the individual and organizational responsibility. So, an organization's responsibility is the ethical behavior of an organization when conducting or running its business. So, the organization's responsibility can also be referred as a corporate social responsibility, sustainable responsible business, and corporate social performance, corporate citizenship, or responsible business. That's all. Thank you so much.